to keep happening. It's something they can't stop, and it's something that they're just now waking up to. And so his attack against the church is in retaliation against his welcome party that we've had set up for him. And so it's all a retaliation thing. And so back to Hillary and Obama. This is what I'm seeing in the codes for right now, is that there's Plan A, there's Plan B. I don't know what C is yet. Since I exposed A and B, they'll have to do something else. Maybe they'll just stick with A or B. I don't know, but it's a heads up. Something else I've been seeing is that last month there was, I don't know what it was, some kind of meteor or satellite or something that hit Peru, caused a huge crater in the ground, and everybody getting sick that came into contact with this area of this crater. And this crater hit in like a field or something. It wasn't in a public area. And so, folks, when these things hit the earth, don't run to them. Don't run. You're just going to get sick. It's not something you want to see, because we've got the same thing that happened in Peru is coming to Alabama. And so a heads up to Alabama that if something falls out of the sky, stay away from it. It has a plague within it. And anybody who comes into contact with that thing is going to get sick. So I found it very interesting that China is connected to both Peru and Alabama. Is this a Chinese satellite falling out of the sky? Are they intentionally casting these things down to Earth? I don't know. But China was associated with the one in Peru, and China is associated with the one that could possibly hit Alabama. And so I found it interesting because I rarely see states outright mentioned in Hebrew Bible codes. Alabama came right up. And so something you want to watch for. Also, the state of Maine. And I'm not cold-hearted, but I have never really cared enough to dig out what's going to happen in Maine, because I'll tell you why. Maine is a hotbed for these Satanists. I've known it for years. I've known it for many years, 5, 6, 7 years now. And they have these Satanists own a lot of private property in Maine, that these reptilian lizards, hide on, I guess you could say, for right now. And they have underground prisons, underground dungeons. And they hold people in these things. And so I know that's why there's judgment coming to Maine. Because of the evil and wickedness that's there. And who owns property in Maine? Bush Sr. Bush Sr. Big surprise, huh? I know you're all gasping for air. You're shocked. And so I don't know what the Lord's going to do for Maine, but it's coming under judgment because of all the wickedness that takes place there. I don't know why Alabama is being singled out as to be the next one hit with one of these Chinese satellites that are releasing plagues to people. So I find that interesting because that's not radiation outright that's making these people sick. They're plagues. These satellites have some kind of plagues in them so that when they hit the earth they're released to make people sick. And so we have, once that hits in Alabama, there will be some kind of plague released. Seen that coming. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that something I see all the time in the codes is the word acceptable. Acceptance, accepted. And, I never really, pay much attention to it, but something that the Lord has brought to my realization, I guess you could say, the past week or two about it, is that not everything we do is accepted by Him. See, I've always seen in the codes forum, acceptable, and the Lord's talking about my lists online. I have an Orgone Blasters list, I have a New World Order Christians list, I have a Hidden Codes announcement list, and these are acceptable to Him. He has accepted these lists. And He has accepted my work on the computer, and you'll see acceptance and acceptable. And it made me realize, and what He has hit my spirit with, is that not everything we do is accepted by Him. That's why it's singled out that it's accepted by Him. And this goes along with the Bible, where we're at the judgment seat, and our fruits are tested. They're either kept by Him or burned and thrown out. We don't lose our salvation, we just lose reward, or we're not given reward for something that we were doing for Him. And that makes a lot of sense because you have so many of these ministries that are just all about commercialism, all about making money, all about the wrong reasons, and he doesn't accept those. He doesn't accept that. He's not going to give a person reward for running a ministry online that spend their entire time attacking the Lord's other servants online. He's not going to reward that. Various reasons why he's going to refuse to reward various different people in ministries. Think they're doing all this great work for him, and he's not going to accept what they're doing. He's not going to accept it. And so it's very interesting. And so now I always pay attention. Is that acceptable? Is that accepted? I want to be clean in intentions and purified of everything I do for him. I don't want to upset him or do something that isn't of him. And so it's a good indicator in the codes is to see something accepted by him. Just thought I'd throw that out there. That if you're doing something for the Lord, make sure it's with the right intentions, folks, or he will burn it. He will burn it, and you will not get rewarded for it. You have to have a pure heart before him. It's all about him. It's not about us. It's not the me. Look how many books I have. Look how many videos I have. Look at my television network. It's not this me syndrome. We're nothing without him. It's about him. Being in it for him. We're his servants, his warriors, not out there ourselves. And so just a heads up on that. Talk about this necrosis that's coming, because this is really fun. You guys are like, what's she talking about? All right, I've warned about the orgone and how orgone is like garlic to a vampire. The aliens will not be able to stand being around this orgone. This orgone is heating up the atmosphere for aliens. And that's why they're screaming about global warming. We don't really, I don't think it's the global warming they're screaming about half as much as just orgone in the air. Because orgone doesn't affect humans. I'm just going to use examples here because it's not causing global warming. It affects aliens this way. Demonics, these lizard beings, it's making them burn. It burns them. It makes them ache. It's heating up the atmosphere, even the abyss, because they're going to be forced on Earth because they can no longer stand to be in the abyss because it's so hot up there. Because when orgone comes into contact with a being that's chip implanted or a lizard or a reptilian alien, it burns them. It's like an internal burning. You burn from the inside out. And that's what it's doing to them. It's going to affect them in space. And they're going to come to Earth, and we've got it here. And then they're going to have no place else to go. And so we've been doing a lot of work with this. It's nothing we've done, but the Lord's going to magnify everything we have done. And when he cranks up the power on all this orgone we have out there, it completely destroys Satan's demonic and alien forces. One of the reasons they're so ticked off and come after the church, to retaliate what we've done to them. But this necrosis is something that will affect humans because orgone doesn't affect humans. There's no, the orgone we make is a good, righteous, pure orgone, so it has no effect on humans. It's going to make you feel good. It's a healing. It's a good energy to be around. But with evil detests it. It reacts against evil. And so, with humans that are soul-scalped lizards, actually, it's a soul-scalped, and I've talked about soul scalps before, where the human is killed and the lizard takes over that human's body, and they have this technology where they can literally just download